The Lightworker journey through the human world. This is a wonderful world that stands before us, dear Lightworkers, on this November the 28th day in 2020. The really difficult, the really challenging times are behind us, and now the best is yet to come. Yes, it is wonderful indeed, for the best is yet to come. Our dear Lightworkers, dear star seeds, let us talk of your journey today. Let us look at your trip through the Planet Earth Training Simulator program, your life as you have lived it in this human world. You were in your heavenly, happy oneness, your divine flow as a spirit. You and your brethren revelled in the bliss, the contentment, floating from moment to moment on heavenly clouds of never-ending, eternal love. And then you heard the call. Planet Earth was in trouble. You knew that Planet Earth was a training simulator program for souls to learn greater love. You knew that on this material world, Satan vied with God for the allegiance, the soul of mankind. For eons, the earth has been a playground for the war of light versus dark, of love versus fear. And mankind was caught in the middle of this war, in a seemingly never-ending round of incarnations. Earth was as a prison planet for humanity. Humanity, having been controlled, manipulated, dumbed down by its dark controllers, its shadow government, the corrupt service to others' dark ones, could not escape by himself. He was too brainwashed, too successfully, too deeply hypnotized into his human experience. Humanity behaved as sheeple, following the bidding of their governments and petty bureaucracy. They were obsequious and subservient. They knew their place as the pathetic, worthless sinners they had been taught that they were, and they believed that those who ruled them knew what was best for them. Critical thinking had been trained out of humanity. He had become a foil for his controllers, to be buffeted back and forth at their will. He listened to the repetitious training of their words and believed what he was told was true. And his DNA had been manipulated so that he existed on two strands of genetic ability. He could only see his human reality. He could not see beyond the veil of forgetfulness. So, dear ones, what was to be done to save mankind? For the time of Kali Yuga was fast approaching. Kali Yuga, the cycle of the procession of the equinox that heralds the end of the third dimensional fear program that held the earth in its low fear vibration. This earthly computer hologram is based on frequency and vibration. The third dimensional planet Earth that has allowed the dark ones to function has been at a very low frequency, a frequency where fear reigns and love can barely enter. And now it is time for Earth to ascend in frequency to the higher, light and loving fifth dimension, where fear is removed, where telepathy, communion and camaraderie reign, where mankind, from his earthly entrainment, can use all that he has learned of love and compassion, wisdom and discernment. But mankind could not lift himself from the round of his fear-filled thinking. It was too deeply embedded in his psyche, and the dark ones have increased their programming, their negative news from the media sources that poured their vitriol onto the earth 24/7, so stressing and entwining mankind more deeply into his indoctrination. And so volunteers were needed. You were angelic beings. You had not lived lives on planet Earth, but you were love itself, and you knew that with your communal high vibration, your radiance, you could help lift the world into the new light frequency, and you could gain wisdom, discernment, and a new higher frequency of love and achievement for yourself. So you came to Earth, ensconcing your soul, a part of your multidimensional beingness, in a human body. You knew that life on Earth would be challenging, but you did not know how difficult it would be. For you were service to others. You wished for oneness, communion, and camaraderie. You liked all beings, all humans, and you aimed to please. Humans were not like that. They had been trained into psychological negativity, into prodding and poking at each other with negative words and phrases, into putting each other down. Fear ruled the roost in this low-frequency world, and anger, hatred, jealousy, blame, and shame were the order of the day. You did not fit in from the start. You were different. However hard you tried, you could not relate, and you did try very hard to fit in. Even more challenging was your naivete. You expected all to be kind and behave kindly as you did. You blamed yourself for what you perceived to be the slightest deviation from your holy route. And so the narcissists of the world were attracted to you. They could see your loving pliability and needed it to feed their low self-esteem. Humans long for approval from each other for validation. So too did you. Yet those around you could not give you praise, for they did not recognize your unique, loving vibration. Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. And in the earthly forgetfulness, you did not know who you were. You were puzzled and confused, hurt by the barbs, the slings and arrows of negativity that were thrown at you. And so their negative thinking about you convinced you that you were inherently bad and sinful, and many of you turned to addictions. Alcohol, drugs, food, whatever made you feel better. Yes, our dear representatives on planet Earth, you have lived through much fear and despair, hurt and discontent, divorces, physical violence, injustices of all kinds have been meted out on you. And nothing wrong ever happened, for this is what you came to Earth to experience. You came to Earth to grow yourself to greater heights of love and light, and to radiate your high vibration to all around you. The communal effect of the Lightworker love radiance is to lift the world to a higher loving frequency. To accomplish your mission, you had coded yourself to awaken to the truth of your entrainment before humanity did. It was time for you to awaken, time for you to realize your divinity, to know that you are a soul ensconced in a human body, ensconced in a biological computer. And it was time for you to comprehend how mankind was enslaved. It was time for you to see how the controllers had set up systems, used words and repetition to hypnotize, to brainwash mankind. They twisted psychology to manipulate man into fear. You too will use psychology, but you will use psychology to help mankind. You will use psychology with love and compassion to lift man's spirits, to help him out of his fear paradigm, to encourage and elevate him to a higher frequency consciousness. For now, having lived a particularly difficult human life, having suffered the slings and arrows of third-dimensional fear, you understand humanity and his confusion and despair with great compassion. For you have been where he is, and you have suffered greatly what he is suffering. And so, our very dear ones, you have fulfilled the first part of your mission. You have lived the human life, and, as an empath, you have felt the cruelty, the selfishness of narcissists. And now, the best is yet to come. Yes, the best is yet to come. For now, it is time for mankind to awaken, and you are here to help him. Shock and awe, dear brethren, shock and awe is to be experienced as humanity sees that all that he has been taught is topsy-turvy. What was goodly and godly was made out to be evil, and what was evil was made out to be goodly and godly. On this November day, the truth is dripping out. Revelations are occurring. This is a great time. Trust the plan, for the divine plan for the ascension of planet Earth out of the third dimension is wonderful indeed. It has been intricately designed. Nothing can stop what is coming now. Where we go one, we go all, and we are very grateful for that, for we are returning to the love that we truly are and leaving behind the fear-filled coat of forgetfulness that we have worn for so long. Dear Lightworkers, dear starseeds, you are exactly where you need to be. Have confidence in yourself. You are in touch with your soul. You hear its voice. The voice of your soul is your intuition, your gut feel. When you are at peace, in joy, you are following the still small voice of your soul. When you are depressed by a thought, when your heart falls, then you are listening to the voice of your ego. Satan is tempting you into darkness. Be in joy, our dear ones. Follow your bliss. Radiate your love. You are free. You are free. You are free. Light and love are your reality now. It is another beautiful day on Paradise, planet Earth. That was Aita, channeling her higher self. We are blessed beings, indeed.